Los Angeles doesn't have a homeless problem. We have a drug problem. The DEA will tell you that over 90% of the homeless population in LA are hardcore illicit drug users.
How many people are using illicit drugs in the homeless community? I would say it's incredibly high.
20%, 30%?
Of the overall problem?
Yeah.
Over 90%.
Cartels are operating in the open, forcing addicts to traffic drugs and murdering them when they don't meet their quota. Dogs are being killed by meth heads, and fentanyl addicts test their drugs on these innocent animals. None of my opponents are living in this reality, and all they want is more taxpayer-funded housing. You cannot fix a drug problem with more housing.
Spencer Pratt is exactly right. If I would have the easiest job in the world, if all I had to do to treat drug addiction was put people in four walls.
Right,
Put them
right.
inside and they're cured. Oh my God, we're done here. That is an insanity. And finally, somebody has the huevos to say it out loud.
You cannot fix LA's drug problem with street medical teams jamming Narcan up their noses and simply propping them up to overdose again and again and again until these poor souls inevitably die in the streets. But it's even worse than that. Currently, Mayor Bass and Nithya Raman are increasing the rampant drug use by using your tax dollars to hand out fentanyl needles, tourniquets, and crack pipes to addicts throughout the city.
Actually, the city paying for people to drive around, hand out needles and pipes and other things to use drugs.
By doing this, they are killing 6 to 7 people every day in the streets, in full public view of you and your children, and they pretend they're the compassionate ones? Ask yourself this: what if that addict on your street were your son, the baby boy you love more than anything, unemployed, doing drugs every day, defecating in public, harassing old ladies at the gas station for money? Would you buy him crack pipes? Would you let him continue to degrade himself in public? Of course not. You would stop the cycle. You wouldn't let him defecate and die in the streets. You'd grab him by the wrist, drag his butt to rehab, and get him sober, whether he liked it or not. If you brought him into your guest bedroom after rehab, you'd demand that he do 0 drugs and maintain a damn job. Why? Because you love him, and that's what you do for someone you care about. Karen Bass and Nithya Raman don't do this basic compassion intervention because they don't care about these people. They don't care if these poor souls struggle through their addiction and degrade themselves in full public view with no dignity. Karen and Nithya don't care. I do. Here's how I'm going to fix this problem and clean the streets for good, for the betterment of the struggling addicts and for you, the taxpayer who's been held hostage by these vagrants who ruined your once safe public spaces. Step 1, break the cycle. No more distribution of drug paraphernalia. Karen Bass and Nithya Raman currently pay NGOs millions of dollars to increase drug usage and profit off the misery of these drug addicts. I'm putting an end to this profiteering. Currently, street medical teams administer Narcan to reverse opioid overdoses. It blocks the opioid receptors in the brain so the addict could shoot up as much heroin as they want. It won't do a thing. The problem is Narcan only lasts for a day or two, and it doesn't break the addiction cycle. So these same addicts end up overdosing and getting more Narcan every week as these NGOs and pharmaceutical companies rake in profits. There is a longer lasting anti-narcotic drug called Vivitrol that does what Narcan does, but it lasts for 30 days, giving a much better chance of breaking the addiction. The problem is the addict must be sober for 7 to 14 days before it can be administered. So we have this donut hole between the 48 hours of protection with the Narcan and the 2 weeks of sobriety needed to administer the Vivitrol. This donut hole is the linchpin for winning this war against addiction. This is where my plan excels. Step 2. We have the laws. We just need to use them. Last year, Democrats smartly passed a common sense law amending SB 43 to classify severe drug users as gravely disabled. SB 43 gives the city and the county the legal pathway to place any and all street drug users on a 5150 hold for 72 hours. Through a cascading series of wellness checklists, this mandatory treatment hold can be extended for 2 weeks, filling that Narcan to Vivitrol donut hole and giving a real pathway for recovery. SB 43 gives us the legal pathway to hold these gravely disabled drug users for up to a year in a conservatorship if they need more treatment. This isn't jail, this is mandatory rehab. This is what you do for people you care about. Step 3, end the body brokering. Many of the addicts you see around your neighborhood are bussed in from other states in order for local NGOs to profit off their addiction. Los Angeles is ground zero for unscrupulous treatment centers who rake in billions of taxpayer dollars getting paid per head. Remember, every one of these people on the streets has a social security number, and once these groups have that social security number, they get access to unlimited Medicaid funds and government assistance. There's no cap on Medicaid dollars, so as long as these NGOs can claim they are providing assistance, they can rake in thousands of dollars per person every single month. 30% or more of the 45,000 plus street addicts in LA are from out of state. Most of them want to go home. Their families want them back, but many of them are stuck here with no way out.
I love my parents, and I'm happy to go home.
A now 21-year-old woman living on the streets of LA finally going home. We're blurring her face for safety with her story too painful to fully describe.
Are you happy to get away from the people you were with?
Yeah.
She's been lost in LA, on the streets, been homeless for years.
The woman's parents in Idaho overjoyed, about to leave for the airport.
I'm just so excited. I'm very nervous.
Their daughter ran away as a teenager, ending up in LA stuck.
She's been through a lot of traumatic experiences out there, so we're just so thankful to have her back and safe.
What a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Man.
They don't feel safe. They're being used by drug cartels and the NGOs, and corrupt local politicians profiting off their misery don't want them to leave and refuse to help. As soon as I'm mayor, every addict who was trafficked here from outside LA is getting a free ride home back to their families. That immediately resolves a third of the problem overnight. Step 4, bring in the DEA. We have international cartels operating in the open on our streets. They occupy abandoned buildings, Section 8 housing, local business fronts, and even set up fake tent encampments to use as drug markets. I will bring in the DEA to dismantle the rampant transnational cartels that are terrorizing our city. There's a new sheriff in town. Step 5, a modern treatment facility. I've already made plans with several high-profile developers who want to donate resources to build a large, modern, and safe campus where we can administer rehab outside of our residential neighborhoods. Places with children and schools and businesses like San Pedro cannot be expected to bear the burden of hosting drug rehab facilities. In these clinics, we will rapid build modular, low-cost housing, exercise facilities, and we will not only provide drug rehab, but civil rehab. Addicts will be given job training. They will provide community service, cleaning up trash, cutting fire breaks. They will serve the communities they transgressed upon, and they will be set up for success to reintegrate into society with job skills and a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Many of the addicts on Skid Row are able-bodied people, fully capable of working and earning a living. The only thing blocking them is the drugs. We don't have a housing problem, we have a drug problem. We cannot solve a drug problem with more overpriced housing scams. Some of these folks do need to go to prison. The violent offenders, animal abusers, and sex offenders will do time, but many of them simply need to be given a chance to recover. But they only have a chance if we confront their addiction, not just dump them in an apartment and give them a box of needles.
3 men in their 40s that were found unresponsive at this apartment building in downtown LA, Spring and 7th Street. We now know LAPD confirming that they died due to a possible fentanyl overdose. One of the officers that was responding to the scene was exposed to the fentanyl. He was transported in an ambulance to a local hospital.
I'm the only candidate with a real plan. I'm the only candidate who actually cares about these poor souls dying on our streets. If you care about someone, you don't let them degrade themselves in public. You grab them by the hand and you pull them away from the darkness. We don't have to live like this, and when I'm mayor, we won't.